Okay, good morning and welcome to November the 4th of 2020. And I was up most of the night. And I got to be honest with you, I begin this recording with grave concern about what I say and um, how we move forward from here. We saw of the news outlets last night. I was toggling back and forth between even Young Turks on YouTube, and I think that their coverage of the election was more honest than our friends over at the former leader in news and still home to at least Tucker Carlson. But they completely screwed the pooch. So I'm going to be careful what I say here because I don't know whether or not they're going to demonetize platforms, ban platforms. What is, and from what I saw last night was just a complete and utter abhorrent. Uh, Coverage in terms of honesty of the election. And now it's a matter of doing business. It's a matter of dealing with whatever the outcome is because I was out there and I voted at 4:50 in the a.m. and did my job. Now it's a matter of dealing with the fallout, for better for worse, and going back to work. So I've made no qualms about, or I had no secrets about what I believed was going to happen with this market. I did not believe that we were going to have a clear winner this morning, and we took appropriate action in advance. So I spoke with our trades, not just our words. So good morning, Jay. So we spent the past couple of days closing out positions. We scalped some profits, and we just raised cash. I did a couple of videos on these. They're posted on YouTube. If I can remember, I'll post to the videos at the end of this one. But we did an analysis on Fastly a couple of weeks ago. I mentioned that I wanted to buy it at a certain price point. We got in at around that price point after bouncing off of it. I can go to a chart of that in a moment. BNR, biotech, Burning Rock to biotech. This one I had hoped more for. We were up higher on it, but then it began to weaken yesterday in the face of a rising market, and I just said, you know what? I'm raising cash here. I'm taking any reason whatsoever to raise cash in advance of the election night coverage. PayPal, we purchased on, what was it? Tuesday night, I believe. I'm so fried right now. Yeah, today's Wednesday. It was on Monday night. Monday night, we purchased it after hours. I did a video on this as well. It's posted on YouTube. And we sold that position on strength. Now, where I had it wrong on that video, as I said, I predicted that we would close positive on Tuesday. We did not. However, we did go green. We rallied back. We did turn green for a certain segment of the day. But ultimately, by the end of the day, the shares did close down on the day, off their lows. This is PayPal in front of you. But we did book profits on strength, and we caught a good piece of the upside on PayPal. SAP, that was an extreme oversold stock. I did a video on this one as well. I've been doing a lot of videos lately about it being extremely oversold. If you go to my video on RSI strategies, this was an extreme oversold strategy that I employed, and we bought it with RSI down at around, it had a 15 handle on it, and it showed us a gain quickly. And normally with a stock that has a couple of days worth of short covering potential. I would let it run. The however here is that we had the big unknown, the big question mark with regard to the election. I was concerned about shenanigans. Guess what? We got shenanigans. So first out, best out, move to the sidelines. We did put on a hedge going into the day today, shorting the Qs yesterday to protect our long trades. We did sell covered calls on XOM early on yesterday. ExxonMobil, right before it began to fade, we sold the 35.50 calls, generating 36 cents per contract profit, and those expire, well, not profit, revenue, not profit, revenue. I hate when people do that. It's not profit yet. We'll know on Friday whether or not it's a profitable trade. So those shares, hopefully, those contracts will hopefully expire on Friday, worthless. So that was the day that was in preparation for the day that is. And it's going to be a very, very interesting couple of days. Now, I had expected, going to the futures, I had expected gold to be ripping this morning. Now, if I were forced to ask how I interpret this pullback on gold and a current trade down below the 1900 mark, which has been critical psychological support, which we managed to recapture yesterday. Do I view this as Trump bullish or Biden bullish? Meaning, who's going to get the White House? If I had to hazard a guess, I'd have to say, despite all of my doom and gloom and skeptical thoughts about the news media, the election process here this year, I'd have to say the odds, according to gold, odds favor Trump. Why? I would think that that just going on policy alone, that the amount of spending, which is going to be huge under a Trump presidency, is going to be massive under a Biden presidency. So you would think that that would get factored in here, but it's not. So the gold markets are saying this is a nothing burger for the most part. But I do remember them being up $50 election eve 2016, only to fade and go negative. So this could perhaps be a knee-jerk reaction that is inaccurate, as it was back in 2016. But that was a flash burst up to $50 a share, and you saw a massive reversal. Excuse me, you saw a flash burst up $50 per share, not up to $50 per share on gold in 2016. You have to excuse me, I'm fried right now. The dollar is up. The dollar's up. Somebody's showing a vote of confidence in the U.S. dollar. JA, will we see a sell-off today because of the election? Had you asked me that prior to me looking, I haven't looked at the equity futures yet. I'm just looking at the currency and the derivative baskets, because equities many times have it wrong. Bond traders, currency traders, they're more savvy when it comes down to the geopolitical hazards and risks of the market versus equity traders. So let's take a quick look. S&P 500 is up 1/4 percentage point. You know, there have been schools of thought here about equities. Equities want a Biden presidency. I don't know about that. I think that they just want clarity. They're going to get spending no matter what. So I think that the results, as we know them, the media refuses to call the election. But if you take a look at the results as a whole, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, what else? A couple other states that look pretty god-darn Trump favorable. Arizona, I have no idea what the heck is going on there. If you count those states, I mean, it's a clear path to victory here, but they just don't want to call it. I mean, the news came out. F News. I'm not even going to say their name to get because I know that these videos are getting scraped like heck today by the algorithms. They called California. They called many states. I mean, one vote hadn't even been tallied. Yet they called the states. Yet where you have a 3-point spread, 2-point spread in favor of the president, they won't make the call. Good morning, Nadia. So, I don't want to get too far into the weeds about election results because, again, they will, in this environment, deplatform, ban, demonetize, whatever retaliation for speaking the truth. The NASDAQ is up pretty significantly here. Now, how I view the NASDAQ being up is very, very interest rate negative, meaning weak yields allowing for technology to rally. And that could be an indication that they're favoring Biden. What are they doing with bonds? You're seeing money rotate into bonds, forcing yields down. I think that if we had a clear winner one way or the other, I think stocks would be up a lot more. I think right now nobody knows what the heck is going on. You look at the headlines of the so-called major news outlets, and I mean, it's tepid milquetoast headlines as if they're massaging the news right now. And it's frankly Orwellian. It's really Orwellian. So, in short, I think that people are doing basically what we were setting up to do, and that was to be positioned cautiously. Not making grand bets on one direction or the other. You're seeing money rotate into bonds. I would perceive that to be a fear trade. You're seeing money rotate into dollars. That I perceive that to be a fear trade. So while equities may be up, I think that you're seeing people approach this market today very, very cautiously. How is TLT looking? There was a dark pool on it yesterday. Has the counting stopped? No, Pennsylvania, you knew the fix was in when that attorney general over in Pennsylvania, who came out and said there's no way that we're going to know who the winner is in Pennsylvania on election night, comes out and says, yeah, the poll workers need to go home at 10:30. I knew right there. I never heard anything like that in my life. The poll workers need to go home at 10:30. I think we have 350 million Americans that are waiting on your vote count to stop. No, they're not done counting yet. They're going to keep counting. And this was the worst possible outcome. But the one thing the opposite side did not expect, and that was a huge tsunami of the get out the vote drive on the Trump side. They were hoping for a very close race. And that way they could scream a Biden win. He would come out and claim victory. They couldn't do it last night, and it kills them. All right, so the TLT, it's similar to the bond market overall in that it's pressing up higher. You're seeing money rotate into bonds, and it's reacting in kind. So yields are getting dropped down. I mean, Rocket Mortgage should be bid up, which I'm long of, should be bid up this morning. The stock has gotten no respect. Sound like Rodney Dangerfield this morning. Yeah, it's still getting no respect. TLT, which it trades in correlation with, it's doing nothing. It's up a few dimes, but that's about it. It should be up significantly higher on that move in TLT. We do have resistance at $20 a share, though. I should say that. Yeah, Mark. Good morning. Yeah, it's something. I mean, it's something. I have other words I could use, but again, I don't want to get banned or. Be careful what you say nowadays. It's not a brave new world. It's a scary new world. Nat gas prices breaking down. What's oil doing? Oil's up strong. Remember on Sunday night, they gapped it down, oil, by 5%? Look at this reversal bar. Let's go to a weekly chart really quick. Look at this reversal bar. I think oil right now is saying it's a Trump win. If I had to go with the markets and what they're telling us right now, the bond market's saying there's fear out there. Let me see if VIX is trading up along with the futures. Commodities is saying, in terms of energy anyway, oil, which Biden is no friend of. VIX is down, along with, equities up. So there's no correlation, which is good, because that usually bodes well or poorly for equities. Silver down at current. How do I call this day? I think we're going to have a somber day because nobody knows what to do. Bonds on the week so far, big reversal bar on the week. All right, folks. I'm going to leave off with this. And I have my dogs outside. I can hear them screaming, barking to get back in. It's cold out. So everybody have a profitable trading day. Good morning, Paul. And I'll stay in touch. Smash the like button if you would, and I will talk to you later. Be well.